Okay, here we're going to do stuff with something called like terms. Like terms are terms that kind of look exactly the same, like they both have the same variable or they both don't have a variable. So terms are really just parts of the problem. So if we look at this expression right here, and this is called an expression because there is no equal sign. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. If I look right, here's a term, here's a term, here's a term, and here's a term. So there are four terms here because they're each part of the problem. So they're all always separated by either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So 3x is a term, 7 is a term, x is a term, and this is like minus 2, but it's really negative 2. So remember, subtraction, negative, same thing. So these are my four terms. For part B, it says identify all of the coefficients. Coefficients are the numbers in front of your variables. So variables, remember, are letters. So I need to look what are the numbers in front of each letter. So I have a variable right here. So the number in front of that variable was a 3. And I have a variable right here. Now it looks like there's no number there, but if you have a variable and you don't see a number, there's always an invisible 1. A way to remember that is there is an x there. There is one x, so 1. So you can kind of think of this as 3 x's. This is 1x. So your coefficients are 3 and 1 because those were our only terms that had variables. For part C, identify all the constants. Constants are the numbers with no variables. So this term had a variable, so not a constant. 7 does not have a variable, so 7 is a constant. This one had a variable, so not a constant. And negative 2 does not have a variable, so it's a constant. So we're looking for any term that does not have a letter by it. Part D, identify all like terms. So like terms are going to be terms that either have the same variable or they don't have a variable. So here, 3x and x are going to be like terms because they both have an x. And then 7 and negative 2 are like terms because they both don't have an x. So 3x and 7 are not like terms because one has an x, one doesn't. X and negative 2 are not like terms because this one has an x, this one doesn't. So like terms have to have the exact same variable or no variable at all. One important rule is you can only add and subtract like terms. So we're about to go over that. So on the next page, it says to simplify expressions. So we're going to make the expression shorter. We are going to combine all like terms. So to do this, you add or subtract the like terms only. You cannot add and subtract unlike terms. That's very important. So what I like to do is find my most complex term first. So if I look at number 1, I have some x's here. That's the most complex thing that I see. So I can look 4x, and then you look at the operation in front of the term. So 4x plus 2x, well 4 plus 2 is 6. So 4x plus 2x is 6x. Then I'm going to bring down my plus 6. 6x and 6 are not like terms, so we're going to keep them separate. They don't like each other. So this is your final answer. So 6x plus 6 is not 12x. Since they are not like terms, we cannot add them together. Number 2, I have 8n plus 4n. Those are like terms, so I can actually add those together. 8n plus 4n is 12n. Bring down your minus 4. 12n and 4 are not like terms, so we're going to keep them separate from each other. So this is your answer. Number 3, I have 6x minus 7x, because there's a minus in front of that 7. So 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So this is negative 1x. And then I have a positive 4 minus 7. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. Negative 1x and 3 are not like terms because this one has an x, this one doesn't. So we are done. Number 4, I have 2m minus 7m. 2 minus 7 is negative 5, so I have negative 5m. And this is a negative 3, so always pay attention to the symbol in front. Negative 3 minus 4. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. So this is our answer. 5, the most complex term I have is this 3xy. I'm going to look to see if I have any other terms that just say xy, which I don't. 2x and 5x have an x, but they don't have a y, so they are not exactly the same, so they are not like terms. So I'm just going to bring down this term. Done with that one. Then I have 2x minus 5x. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x. Done with those terms. Then I have a negative 6, so bring it down. I don't have any other like terms because I don't have any other xy's, I don't have any other x's, and I don't have any constants. So this is your final answer. Number 6, the most complex thing I see is x squared. So I have x squared minus 3x squared. So remember earlier we talked about if there's no number or no coefficient in front of a variable, there's an invisible 1. So this is 1 minus 3, which is negative 2x squared. So done with those. Then I have positive 4x plus 2x. 4x plus 2x is 6x. Now, while they both have x's, this one has an x squared, which is different than just a normal x. So these two are not like terms. Since that one has an exponent, this one doesn't, they are going to be kept separate from each other. So this is your answer. So again, only add and subtract your like terms. Do not add terms together if they are not like terms. If you have any questions, please let me know. Wrong one.